We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Awakening Together Sanctuary. Welcome to our weekly gathering. Welcome from Ajijic, Mexico, where I am here with all of our brethren. I'm going to just give you a quick view of everyone, since the way we set this up, you only get to see me. Here we go. You ready? This is the crew. This is the crew. Crew keeps coming. There we go. There we go. Okay. The crew sends their love. All is well in Ajijic. I can bring news from the front. We are here for today's weekly gathering. And the title of it is Perception Projection. Projection makes perception. Projection makes perception. The perception that we have, and we'll be able to talk about that a little bit. But first, what we do is we ask Cindy if she'll play our opening song. And what we get a chance to do is greet each other on the board, part of like we would do in church, reaching across the pew and giving someone a hug. So Cindy, if we could get you to play the song now, thank you. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. You got to unplug when they listen and plug when I talk. What I'm going to do now, purpose and awakening together, and the core values we'll be looking at today, the core values that this homily is rooted in. And we all have the advantage of having spent the last week practicing the song as the new guru and contemplating this purpose and core value. So this should all sound familiar. So we are an assembly of equals. We are joined in common purpose, and that is awakening to the one true self. Within an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and oh, so many symbols, we seek to discern that one truth and to rest in its embrace. So like Helen last week, there are two core values that today's message speaks to. The first is core value 3, and the second is core value 5. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put that right there. Appreciate that. People bringing me water. The only thing that prevents us from seeing with true perception is the projection that our mind generates, the filter that we see through, and it colors the whole world. So these two core values root us in our true north, right? Adyashanti says, life tends to unfold along the lines of what we value most. These are core values, and we affirm we value them most. Well, hearing, bring this up. I'm going to unplug and let me see. Rhoda, can you hear me? Yes, you can. Okay. She's just in my eyesight, right under my picture. Thank you. Okay. So here's core value 3. We accept one true self, which is one presence or being. This one. Non-dual, without beginning and end, and absolutely changeless. We live this value by ongoingly practicing letting go in the belief, in the perception, in the projection, in the individual self as who we are, in the individual self as the truth of who we are. We practice letting go of that. Core value 5 gives us a little more help in how we let go of that. So core value 5 begins with acceptance. We accept all forms, all projections, all of perception. We accept all forms as temporary appearances, permitted through enduring awareness of capital S self. And we live this value by honoring all appearances and all experiences while continually reflecting on changeless truth, continually reflecting on the truth of what we are, what everyone is, what all is. Now, what we do is we pivot to announcements. So this is where we switch to the more devotional aspect of this service. I offer an invocation because my brother's with me and he's a little allergic to the word prayer, and that is absolutely fine with me, because what I'm calling to is the truth in all of us that longs to live free. The heart in all of us. The only thing that ever hurts the heart is being told it can't love everything. It can't just be on fire with love. So my prayer is that as we listen to this next song, we all hear what we are to hear today. Open us the message. Live the true longing that every human being longs. Live, which is to love, be loved, and be that love, and experience that love, and know that love. And that's going to maybe push us, some of us, many of us, maybe all of us, if we're open, to start to see with new eyes, welcome, and to honor not just the sweet, but the bitter. And I would ask if Sydney be willing to play our first song. Okay. Now we're going to have a reading. This reading is also from Letting Go. I say also because Helen Avery gave a very clear, powerful message last week, and this is basically just a part two. That was the guidance. And so our friend Andrea Putnam, who's an MPP student here in Ahahik, is going to do the reading. It's from Letting Go. But what it is Helen focused on how to let go, what we're doing when we let go and how to let go. This reading tells us why. So Andrea, if I can get you to do the reading, appreciate that.
Good morning. This is from Chapter 2 of Letting Go, the Pathway of Surrender, Life's Events and Emotions. The rationalizing mind prefers to keep the true causes of emotion out of awareness and utilizes the mechanism of projection to do this. It blames events or other people for causing a feeling or views itself as the helpless, innocent victim of external causes. They made me angry. He got me upset. It scared me. World events are the cause of my anxiety. Actually, it's the exact opposite. The suppressed and repressed feelings seek an outlet and utilize the events as triggers and excuses to vent themselves. We are like pressure cookers, ready to release steam when the opportunity arises. Our triggers are set and ready to go off. In psychiatry, this mechanism is called displacement. It is because we are angry that events make us angry. If, through constant surrendering, we have let go of the pent-up store of anger, it is very difficult, and in fact, even impossible, for anyone or any situation to make us angry. The same, therefore, goes for all other negative feelings once they have been surrendered. Because of social conditioning in our society, people even suppress and repress their positive feelings. Suppressed love results in the broken heart of the heart attack. Suppressed love reemerges as excessive adoration of pets and various forms of idolatry. True love is free of fear and characterized by non-attachment. Fear of loss energizes undue attachment and possessiveness. For example, the man who is insecure about his girlfriend is very jealous. When the pressure of suppressed and repressed feelings exceeds the individual's tolerance level, the mind will create an event out there upon which to vent and displace itself. Thus, the person with a lot of repressed grief will unconsciously create sad events in life. The fearful person precipitates frightening experiences. The angry person becomes surrounded by infuriating circumstances, and the prideful person is constantly being insulted. As Jesus Christ said, "Why do you see the splinter which is in your brother's eye, and do not feel the beam which is in your own eye?" Matthew 7:3. All the great masters point us within. Everything in the universe emits a vibration. The higher the vibration, the more power it has. Emotions also, because they are energy, emit vibrations. These emotional vibrations impact the body's energy fields and reveal effects that can be seen, felt, and measured. Motion pictures use curvilinear photography, such as those done by Dr. Thelma Moss, that show rapid fluctuations of the color and size of the energy field with the change of emotions. The energy field has traditionally been called an aura and can be seen by people who have been born with or learn the ability to see vibrations of that frequency. The aura changes color and size with emotions. Muscle testing also demonstrates the energy changes that accompany emotions, as our body's muscles instantly respond to positive and negative stimuli. Thus, our basic emotional states transmit themselves into the universe. The mind has no dimensions or size and is not limited in space. Therefore, the mind transmits its basic state via vibrational energy over an unlimited distance. This means that we routinely and unwittingly affect others by our emotional state and thoughts. Emotional patterns and their associated thought forms, for instance, can be picked up and received consciously by psychics at a great distance. This can be demonstrated experimentally, and the scientific basis for this has been a subject of great interest in advanced quantum physics. Because emotions emit a vibrational energy, they affect and determine the people who are in our lives. Life events become influenced by our repressed and suppressed emotions on the psychic level. Thus, anger attracts angry thoughts. The basic rule of the psychic universe is that like attracts like. Similarly, life promotes love, so that the person who has let go of a lot of inner negativity is surrounded by loving thoughts, loving events, loving people, and loving pets. This phenomenon explains many scriptural quotations and common sayings that have puzzled the intellect, such as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and those who have get. As a general rule, therefore, people who are carrying the consciousness of apathy bring poverty circumstances into their lives, and those with prosperity consciousness bring abundance into their lives. Because all living things are connected on vibrational energy levels, our basic emotional state is picked up and reacted to by all life forms around us. It is well known that animals can instantly read a person's basic emotional state. There are experiments demonstrating that even the growth of bacteria is affected by human motions, and that plants register measurable reactions to our emotional state. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Beautifully read. Thank you. Andrea was just reading from the book Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins. I read the first line again. the rationalizing mind, okay, the voice in our head, that thought stream just keeps coming, keeps the true causes of emotion, all of it, not some of them, all of them, out of awareness, utilizes the mechanism of projection to do so. So projection is a mechanism, and it happens mechanistically. It's just the way the psyche is made, it's just the way the brain fires. Question is, are we interested in noticing what energies, vibration keeps firing in me? That's the question. Am I interested in that? Because if you're at peace, if you're just at peace, just ongoingly with your body, with your finances, with your eating habits, with your entertainment habits, with people in your life and your sangha and world events, then this homily is not for you, because you guys just keep doing you, boo. It's working, right? And then, but the question is, for those of us who get triggered, for those of us who the energy comes in and all of a sudden we're just tight, and the rationalizing mind starts to tell us a story. And Helen did a very good job on that last week, for me at least, about just saying I want to let it go is nothing. Walked us through the next section of this book, which says we be with what? Not the story. The story is going to keep firing. Actually, we're trying to get away from the story. That's why we go do those habits that don't serve us. But we drop into the body and we be with the emotion. We be with the emotion because we are all body-mind organisms, are pressure cookers. Whatever energy didn't make it through us at an earlier time is still circulating. And that's what some traditions call samskaras. So how do they show up? Well, they show up just with anything that hits our stuff. And the mind is going to say, we're the victim. Every victim needs a victimizer to stay in their identity of victim. So if the perception that you're looking through right now sees a bunch of victimizers, then there is an addiction, and I know that I see it in me. There's still this habit energy, this addiction to feeling victimized, feeling like a victim of what's happening, feeling like it's not fair, feeling like it should. And basically the bottom line story is, this just should not be like this. This cannot be like this. I must stand against it. The rationalizing mind enlists us in a stand that it claims is righteous, but it's just resistance. We know from enough practice that what we resist persists. We have never cleared anything through resisting it, through rejecting it. Matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. So let me be very specific about how this teaching came to me. I have been contemplating powerlessness almost on a daily basis since the election, because this election brought up every victim energy I've ever known, and it just kept collapsing the system. I just have noticed the tension would go to the story, and then finally there was this like, well, forget it then. If I want to be peace is not out there. I got to protect myself. I got to make sure none of that victim. And what we do is we close. This is what the rationalizing mind convinces us to do. It's playing us because it sucks us into the story and says the world is the cause of my peace. I can't have peace. I'm absolutely powerless. No, I'm not a divine being. No, I'm a separate body-mind organism, and that is not in accord with my values, what's happening in the world, with my preferences, and it's certainly not what I would do. and then the rationalizing mind goes, so shut it down and shut it out. And it's exactly the opposite. This is what Dr. Hawkins is saying, okay? We say world events are the cause of my anxiety. Actually, it's the exact opposite. The suppressed and repressed feelings are seeking an outlet. They utilize See, this is the intelligence that we are. We can't hold this pressure forever. If we do, we're going to get, just name it. Every inflammatory disease, I've had many of them when this is my way of being. It's going to have rage. We're going to have inflammation. We're going to have eczema. We're going to have autoimmune diseases, right? We're going to have colitis. We're going to have migraines. The body can't keep holding this repressed, suppressed emotion. It's going to show up in our tissues, in our organs, and certainly in our thinking, in our disposition. And what Dr. Hawkins tells us is that we're in a vibrational universe. He is certainly not the only one to say that. He's just echoing what we hear. We are in a vibrational universe, right? And vibrations vibrate. The higher the vibration, the more power. The lower the vibration, the less power. So the question is, when this energy comes up, what do you do about it? Are you still in denial and pretending like you can just woo? I don't know how anyone could imagine this right now, but that you can literally shut the world out. The thing is, when we shut the world out, we shut the pressure cooker down and we suffer. We're not at peace. We're just hoping in a moment. We're just clinging to whatever little sanity we feel like we have. Dr. Hawkins leads us through how to be free of this, right? We recognize we are pressure cookers. And then he says, through constant surrendering, you can let all this go. And I'm like, what is that? What is this constant surrendering? Well, we can't really get to constant surrendering until we come into full recognition that we are pressure cookers. Not we, you, this personality, or I know about your mom, I know about your dad. Yeah, how about that happened? It's not that. It's not our personal stories. It's the way the human is designed. When we were young, scary stuff happened, and it didn't make it all the way through. We said, no, I can't deal with that. So we pushed it down. And then we got in our teens and we pushed all that stuff. And we got in our 20s and we pushed that down. And some of us are still pushing stuff down. Some of us still think, I just got to push this away to show up as who I want to be, or to not feel insane. Or I used to have a really deeply held belief that if I let the pain that I felt, that I glimpsed inside of me, if I let it all the way up, totally felt like it would kill me. Thank you. My apologies. I did my best after the election. I contemplated powerlessness. I sat on my porch. I looked at the trees. I noticed that was all divine order. It didn't help. I did my absolute best. It didn't help. I still felt crushed. I still felt caved in. I still wanted to push everything away. And so I asked for help. And I was told that the daily practice of root cause inquiries, it's like, not every day. I don't know, every day. Haven't I graduated from that? It's like, apparently not. So I want to share with you the day I knew that I needed some help and I needed people to join with me. And that was the impetus for the program, 40 Days and 40 Nights, watching the news, watching the news. For healing, not hate, becoming realized in the totality of our being. And now it is our program. If this is the mission, if you choose to accept it. The mission is to figure out how you do this thing called constant surrendering. How you do this thing that says it would be very difficult, and Dr. Hawkins says, in fact, even impossible for anyone or any situation to make you angry once all the energy is surrendered. What really brought me to my knees to say there's got to be a better way is on February 28th, 2025. That was the day that there was this meeting in the Oval Office between Donald Trump and President Zelensky. I didn't see the meeting. I didn't hear the audio. I saw a headline that said something about Zelensky being something like ridiculed or shamed, or I don't even remember what the headline was. I thought my heart was going to explode. I have followed the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I have kind of prayed with the Ukrainian people, stood with them, and just the inhumanity. And here is the leader that has held that what I would consider my team together and being treated like this. I'm not Ukrainian, it had nothing to do with it. My heart just went out to all that, right? So here's what I did. I turned and looked inside the pressure cooker. I surrendered. I said, if you show me what's here that I'm not seeing, I'll be with anything. I can't keep feeling like every day I have to not even carry a phone or not be around other people or not be in the checkout line and listen to other chat. I can't keep doing this. I can't go back to the constantly reactive, angry, sad, and powerless feeling. And so I asked, what are the feelings? And I always name it. It was Trump. I saw a quick picture of Trump wagging a finger at Zelensky. It really collapsed my whole system. So what was I feeling? I was feeling rage and hate, betrayal. I saw the belief in attack. I saw the belief in ridicule. I saw humiliation. I saw powerlessness. I saw degraded, disrespected, shamed. And I felt the energies of dehumanization. And in root cause inquiry, what we do is we say, okay, and then we look right at it. We look right at it and we say, why does this bother me? And mine goes, are you kidding me? Did you just hear the list? You want me to read it again? We look at our list and we say, why does it bother me? And what came was, it hits me like the force of a Mack truck. I felt mowed down. I felt overrun. It felt like a 2x4 to the chest. It felt like knocked the air back. I felt, why does it bother me? Because I feel fear. I feel terror. And I feel hate. And I want to attack. I want to defend. And with root cause inquiry, you look right at that and you say, okay, why does that upset you? I feel like an animal that just had some primal defend, attack energy released. I feel crazy, hot, surging hate. I saw images of taking my hand, the palm of my hand, and taking someone else's nose and driving it in to the back of their head. I had these fantasy images of just shutting down, crazy images of violently stopping this. This cannot, no, not one more second. So you look right at it and you feel it. And it took about, 20, 30 minutes between each line. I'm going to read it to you sequentially. This whole process probably took could have taken 3 hours. I have no idea. It took a long time. I couldn't even write. It was very hard to write. Why does that bother me? Because the rationalizing mind prefers to keep the true causes of emotion out of awareness. And it utilizes the mechanism of projection to do this. Mind kept showing me him and them and all of the them that thought this was a good idea. And all of the, I remember walking in the park that morning. I think I had to take a break when I was doing this. And I remember looking at people and going, did you want this to happen? There's this suspicious, vicious, did you want people to be treated that disrespectfully? There's a huge story here. There's a huge story here about the sanctity of the Oval Office. I have never been in the Oval Office. I've been in the White House. I've never been in the Oval. This is programming. This is conditioning. But this is conditioning I was taught to hold very dear. There's a way you talk to your allies. There's a way you talk to people that are standing for freedom. There's a way you talk for people with democratic values. You can hear all the concepts. You can hear all the programs. And I was lost in it. So I just came back. I looked again. Why does it bother me that I feel like an animal that just had some primal defend attack energy released? Why does that bother me? So you let go of the story. I have never met President Trump. I have never met President Zelensky. It's not like I'm the one that has to like get into the next meeting and try to figure. No, that is fantasy. That is the rationalizing mind preferring to keep the true causes of emotion out of awareness. And that is how fast the mechanism of projection's working, right? Of course, this is a day like all days where I had done my centering prayer, I had done my being aware of awareness, I had done my gratefulness, I had practiced my ears off that morning. It didn't matter. Why? Because this is a pressure cooker until it's not. This has stored, suppressed energies that haven't been met, haven't been allowed, certainly haven't been loved. It's the inner civil war. Why does that upset me? Because I feel defenseless, vulnerable, naked. I feel unprotected. I feel hopeless. I feel stripped. I feel reduced to begging for life. I feel desperation. I feel dehumanized. See, now the projection projected it back in. I'm on my porch, a screened in porch with a lot of woods around me. But this is the projection mechanism. This is just how real it feels, right? I feel dehumanized. I feel hurt. I feel maimed. I feel dismembered. This is what's in the pressure cooker for me. And then it went on. I just kept being with it. Helen walked us through that last week. You let go of the story and you just come into non-resistance. You just do the best you can. You just don't resist. You just let it come. You just constantly surrender. You just be with it. And let me pause for a second before I keep reading this, because there's another part that Dr. Hawkins wrote. When the pressure of suppressed and repressed feelings exceeds the individual's tolerance level, the mind will create an event out there upon which to vent and displace. So what I have learned in doing this work, and what I have learned, and there's this call to be free, like Muji says, Grace put that in your heart. None of this was your idea. Grace put the longing to be free in your heart. And I trusted that if Grace put the longing to be free in my heart, is very alive in my heart, then Grace is going to show me how. And what I noticed early on is Regina, what was so helpful for her was to rest those thoughts when they kept coming for her. Accept these feelings I'm reading. Accept them. Just accept them. Just gently accept them. Patiently accept them. And trust. Just trust this is healing. That didn't meet me in the terror I felt letting these feelings come up. I love the idea of resting the thoughts. And I truly believed for quite a while that I had a different mind than you. This was harder for me. You don't know how crazy, this is crazy town here. I really believed that, okay? Why? Because the rationalizing mind prefers to keep the true causes of emotion out of awareness. And it utilizes this mechanism. So I projected myself as especially damaged, especially ADHD'd, especially monkey mind, right? And so what this says is when the pressure of the suppressed and repressed feelings exceeds an individual's tolerance level, the mind creates an event out there. What I learned before I read this is that we all have a zone of tolerance. My zone of tolerance was here for tough emotions, for shame, for anguish, for rage. It was like that just wasn't, that the hose was kinked and it wasn't coming unkinked. So I did a deep dive into Peter Levine and other people who show us, who teach us how to truly be with what's coming up from trauma. Trauma is just energy that didn't make it through. It has a story, and that is not to throw shade on a story. It's just that it comes with a narrative, right? So I learned from that work to expand my zone of tolerance. Well, that's all he's talking about. When the pressure exceeds the individual's tolerance level, the mind's going to create a story. It's going to pull you up. It's going to pull you up into this, and then this is all unmet. So what I know now many years into this, maybe, I don't know, I started that work probably 6 years ago, is I now have a zone of tolerance, right? Until this last election and the new everyday news that's coming. And I have a choice. I either shut it out, which is a very primal defense mechanism called denial. And when you deny reality, it doesn't work out well for you. You can't deny reality and stay in that mode for long, okay? Reality is going to win. So the other way to do it is to open. And that's where 40 days and 40 nights came. Because to open to this, to open to our pressure cooker in community with practices in a safe space for an hour a day feels doable. It feels like just the kind of baby step that I need to every day step into what life is bringing. Now, that does not mean I have to plug into the news and watch it for 5 hours. No, it just means I don't end up spending life dodging that the inner pressure cooker is asking to be relieved. This world appearance is happening for us, not to us. But it's only happening for us if we intend to lay down the defenses, lay down the defense mechanisms, lay down the rationalizing mind, which is what we affirm we want to do. We want to awaken to the one true self. Well, this is the only way to do it. Because every time I am awash in desperation and dehumanization, I'm believing I'm this separate little ant that's literally under attack. I'm not even believing I'm a separate self. I'm a separate self on the run. And when we tell the body you're a separate self on the run, you know what it does? Races your heart, makes you sweaty. It brings down your perceptual capability. I can't show up for me. I can't show up for you. We can't show up for each other. It closes down our hearts. So for me, I am called to stand as love. And I'm called to stand with all of you. Because when I felt the desperation, the dehumanization, when I imagined myself being slaughtered and humiliated, I knew these energies are kind of beyond even my new expanded zone of tolerance. But that's when I knew to ask for guidance. What am I to do now? So that when I let myself feel all this after several hours, I'll read you what came. If my goal was to maintain and protect the ego, this would be a hellscape, ongoingly. And I would just constantly have to try to escape, whether it's spiritual escapism, whether it's food, whether it's media, whether it's video games, whether it's sex, whether it's whatever it is, vacation, travel, anything to escape. But I bring the pressure cooker with me. So I'm not free. I'm on the run. I wrote, but since my goal is to release the egoic filter, this provides all the opportunities I desire to blow holes in the egoic protection mechanism. Can I allow it to be like Mary, done unto me? Lots of times, yes, sometimes no, and that's why I'm looking forward to doing this in community. Can I rest, accept, and trust how this feels? Can I truly trust this is for my healing? Yes, a lot of the times, but sometimes I forget. None of that desire for defense, protection, attack are the truth of what I am. It's not the truth of what any of us are. So why does it upset me? It only upsets the self-concept, the idea of a separate me. Those energies make and maintain a me, an image, a concept, an identity. Letting go lets these energies go through my physical, emotional, psychological system of perception and purifies it. My will is true perception. My will is unity consciousness. And that is thy will for all of us. The truth, this is NTI, Matthew 11. The truth is not something that can be seen, except if one chooses to see it. When one chooses to see what is, he shall. We do not have to be on the run. We do not have to believe any thought that comes in our mind just because it comes in our mind. We do not have to believe the egoic filter. And we do not have to believe that fear is real, because fear is believing the unreal is real. We can see fear, we can be with fear, and we can let the pressure cooker, and we can do it together. I look forward to everyone who feels called to be free with what's happening right now in our world, and not keep believing the rationalizing mind that says you can't be free until you're free from it. It's not the truth. And we're going to keep reminding each other. We're going to keep showing up. We're going to do this together, because we are awakening together. This is the Awakening Heart Sangha. We are all the Awakening Heart Sangha. It is our hearts that long to be free, and our hearts can be free. But some of this pressure is going to have to come out. So I just want to invite, at the end of our time, I want to have time for sharing. I want to have time for our communal relationship. I want to invite everyone, not just to show up for 40 days and 40 nights, right? Watching the news for hate, not healing. But we all have gifts and practices. Come take a day. Read us your favorite poem. Show us one headline or one picture. Even pick like a light one, right? And then let's all just practice. Let's practice, like, no one signed up for this one, I don't think yet. Read The Guest House. Just read, show us something, read The Guest House. Trust what comes for you. Roughly about an hour, 20 minutes, we teach something, 20 minutes, a little bit of media, a little bit of news, whatever it is, facilitator decides. Then for 20 minutes, we practice. And then 20 minutes, we share together. We share what we saw. We reinforce the learning. So don't just come and participate. Come and participate. Sign up for something, ask guidance, and come share your gifts. Come share your light. Come share your true desire. We can no longer be spectators on the spiritual path. Miranda McPherson told us, I think it was last week, that we are being called to be spiritual warriors. And the warrior decides to bring peace to the inner civil war. And I and we are with you. And I love you. And so I'm going to ask Cindy to play the same song she played for our opening song. And I'm going to ask her to play it now. And I'm going to ask our hearts to show us how we may hear it differently, what we hear now, that there might have been so much resistance to, that we did not think we could say thank you for this administration. But I say thank you to consciousness for bringing me everything I need for my awakening. I will use it for that. Thank you, Cindy. All are gifts for my growing. I want to open this up for sharing, but before I do, I want to say Awakening Together relies primarily on your donations. 40 days and 40 nights, it's the first time Rhoda was willing to run with the guidance. The guidance is not to make it a low entry program. It's a no entry program. It's a show up. And if you get value here, and if you get value from that, we're asking you to give value back, right? We're asking you to support these teachings and support this platform. We're asking you to support your own awakening in all the ways that you're guided. We check for guidance and we trust that. That's our growth policy. Our growth policy is to trust if this feeds you, it will stay around because you will feed it. And the day it is over, we will say thank you. So I now say thank you, and I see Melissa's hand.
Okay. Why does this bother me? And you were talking about the elections, and I'm in a very, and thank you, Jacqueline. I'm in a very, very harsh place from the elections, and it immediately came out because I feel helpless, and like there's nothing that I can do to help or change this. And I understand that's a beautiful blessing. And I understand that working through it and trusting and patience is my job right now. Um, and so I just want to say thank you for that, because it just reminded me there's the best thing I can do is to rest, accept, and trust. And that's a very hard thing to do sometimes. And thank you. So that's where I'm at. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Melissa. We're with you. We're still, so there we go. Rhoda. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. I'm crying. Thank you for the instruction to listen again. I heard very clearly. Thank you for the pain of letting go. And mind gave me projection of watching 3 rubber ducks in a very stormy ocean. 3. Very grateful. Very grateful. Thank you for letting go. For the teaching. I love you.
We love you. I'm gonna just have Cindy play the last song, because here's the thing. Consciousness has this. It's just asking us to show up, and it will show us the next steps, right? Here's the thing. Everything belongs somehow. I don't know how. And nothing is wasted. Again, I don't know how. But everything belongs, nothing is wasted. So let's use it for our true north. Okay? And this is the 3rd song. Thank you, Cindy. You are not a person. You are a process. Love is a choice. I look forward to making it together again and again and again. Thank you. I love you. Give this back to Cindy.
You've been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.